Hello, I'm Dean Zaris, founder and CEO of ClearFactor. Today we're going to explore ClearFactor's fourth and latest product offering, our MCP server. By combining our MCP capabilities with your agentic workflow tools, you can bring entirely new experiences to your users with full assurance that all of the work handled by ClearFactor will be 100% deterministic. The arbitrary complexity of your workflow before and after ClearFactor's contribution is completely in your hands. We're going to see how ClearFactor can read from and write to a model, use it like an on-the-fly calculator, and create and save scenarios. I'll point out that you can build ClearFactor models from scratch, where your agent might first acquire whatever data it needs, then determines the model's structure and the formulas necessary to satisfy your model's goals. That can get a bit time-consuming, but it's very cool to watch it happen. The key thing we want to stress here, though, is that if you're possibly already drowning in spreadsheet files, unleashing the robots to crank out more of them might not be the best approach. We'd say put them into ClearFactor instead, where they can be treated like highly governed, fully auditable pieces of enterprise software. So let's take a look at the desktop and see what I've got here. I've got a ClearFactor model. It's that trusty sales forecast model that we've used in other videos. And as the software will tell us, a bunch of forecasted sales numbers by region, East, Central, and West. There's a commission rate out here and some other variables that control the rest of the model. Formulas of the model are in here, and we're going to drill in directly to this bottom line number. The accumulated P&L forecasted for the fourth quarter of 2028. And that's coming from all of these places over here. Let's just make that blink a little bit like that. Over here, I've got Claude desktop. Let's knock something off your list. Okay, so I'm going to go to some previously typed prompts and paste them in because no one wants to watch me typing these things. And we're going to get connected to our ClearFactor account, and we're going to find the sales forecast model. Okay, already active, and so on. So what you're seeing here is it's finding the appropriate tools to go and get this work done. And there we go. All right, so it pulled out a plan ID, a unique GUID, a GUID that's unique to every model in the system. It pulled out the description, some tags, tells me that I own it. Yes, thank you for that. All right. Let's put it to work. So we're going to first read some stuff out of the model. We're going to get the numbers by region for the fourth quarter 2026 and that accumulated P&L number that was off in the corner, the 482,000 number there in yellow. And again, it's making use of some of the, it has a few dozen tools at its disposal, but for this task, it's going to get the evaluated cells for a given Excel range. It figured out where that accumulated P&L was in the model. And it also figured out where those inputs were. So here they are over here. Let's turn this off. So we've got the 10, 20, and 30,000 totaling up to 60,000. I didn't ask for the total, but it must have done that internally here. And then there's the 482,060 off in this corner. All right. So now that we've read some stuff out of the model, we're going to do an on-the-fly scenario in memory using ClearFactor as a perfectly deterministic calculator where we're going to send some data, give it permission to do that. We're going to send a bumped up group of sales numbers for those cells over here over to ClearFactor. ClearFactor will do all the calculations downstream of using those new temporary numbers and give us back the new accumulated P&L. And here it is. So and I can just recreate that like this. So there's the new sales numbers typed by hand. There's the new accumulated number, 486,320, and there it is over on the Claude side of the house. All right, so again, keeping in mind that that was done completely at ClearFactor, but temporarily, I caused the green save button to light up. Let's undo that. And back to Claude, I'm going to paste a new prompt in here now where I'm going to take that thing that was essentially a scenario and we're going to make that permanent. But in the scenario tool of ClearFactor, we're not actually changing the model. We're also bumping up the commission rate by 10%, so that 20% is going to become 22 in the scenario. And any moment that'll be done. Okay, so it says it's done. It showed us some other stuff along the way. Go to the scenario tool in ClearFactor, and there it is. So there's a description written by Claude. There's the title. And if I open this up and run a comparison, we'll get this. All right, so there's the 2% difference between the 22 and 20% commission value in the base case of the model, the latest version. Here are our new sales numbers, 11,000 versus 10,000 and so on, for a total difference of 6,000. And we're seeing all the differences. I had this already in that mode. Here are just the drivers, right? So there are only these 4 values that comprise the scenario. Turn that off. But those 4 values are now reflected through the model like this. Commissions going up, those dollars going up, paying more commissions, therefore net P&L going down, and so on. Lastly, I'm going to show how we can actually get Claude to write stuff permanently to the model like this. So with the new prompt, we're going to bump up those same sales numbers now by 20% and save them to the model. So that's pretty straightforward. It has the original values. It's bumping them up by 20%. And any moment now, you're going to see the result. So here's what it did internally. And notice on the ClearFactor side that a red button appeared. And this is ClearFactor's way of telling you, the user, that something has changed. This is different than what you may experience with Google Sheets. When you have multiple people working on the model all at the same time, ClearFactor never just sends you a whole bunch of numbers, changes everything in front of you, because we presume that you've got your head into those numbers and you don't want them to suddenly just, go all wacky on you. So, but when you're ready, click the red button, and there they are. And so now, as we've demonstrated in other places, we can look at the audit history. So there's the 12,000, the original 10,000, there's the new 12,000, so on and so forth. And the versioning tool, lastly, describing that permanent new version, not as a scenario. And all future processing downstream will be driven by this version of the model. So that's all for now. Again, if your AI agents could benefit from perfectly deterministic, highly explainable, and governed calculation engines, give us a call and we'll set you up in minutes. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more.